Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's time to try once again with the multiplayer gameplay of Battletech, and while my first match seemed like it was a bit of a mess, I took some real effort into planning out what I'm going to at least be doing for my next battle, because the sad thing is I can't randomize the map, so I'm kind of forced to pick the maps individually there. So on the plus side, it allows me to figure out the map and kind of like metagame my composition, my team for said map, which we're going to be doing like a lunar one I'm planning on doing next. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, the crater I think, but this is the roster I'm going to be fielding for this. This is the one I originally had in mind, to be honest, even before practicing on the crater map. So we did actually manage to sneak in a heavy mech for this one here, considering we're only with 15 million credits or C-bills that we have to utilize, and this could be a bit of a mistake because I'm going to be using two of the SRM variant type of locusts there to kind of harass, poke, spot for me, and if possible, just be a real nuisance. If nothing else, they're just going to hang around the edge and try to harass and chip. And my main, was it ganking damage or was it burst damage, is going to be in Paradise and the Jenner, and the main reason I chose Paradise is that he's allowed to shoot even before he even moves. He has that potential with his ace piloting trait. It's going to be tricky for him to actually hit anything with such low gunnery skills, so using the jump jets or using his high mobility, even for a Jenner mind you, the mobility is pretty much maxed out, even for a 35 tonner, so there is some real possibility he can get in close, but I am not oblivious to the fact this is probably a very flimsy strategy, especially with the locusts being easily destroyed just because of random RNG, since they're going to be relying on evasion tanking, for lack of a better term, for when they are kind of in vision and getting shot at. Because they're not going to do a whole lot, but they do at least have the SRMs that give them good medium range punch. And worst case, if these things seem too flimsy, I could always swap them out for like the machine gun variant, which gives them an extra 80 armor to kind of like make them more durable. The only catch, of course, is they have to be staying right next to mech to utilize said machine guns, which is going to be a big problem for melee attacks because they ignore evasion. So this is kind of the reason why I chose the SRM variant as opposed to the machine guns, and I might experiment with the LRM variants too, but they only have 80 armor, and half my 4-man lance having like easily being able to get one shot by a lucky autocan or PPC hit is probably asking for disaster. So I did not commit to that there, but this is my strategy here just to let you know what the weaponry is. Actually, I don't think there's an easy way for me to edit it on this page, but this is basically a Centurion there. We have an autocan 5, we have an LRM 10, two medium lasers on the opposite sidearm there. So it is basically a Centurion that's also faster, and because it's faster and heavier, it also hits harder, which is part of the reason why I want this mech as my heavy as opposed to going with a Centurion. It allows it to get in close for when they feel like they can swarm this thing. It can hit back just as hard, and with the evasive movement, I can get some decent evasion charges for any long-range harassers that are trying to poke at me while still getting aggressive in the melee attack. And never mind the fact I can brace while still shooting if the situation warrants it. A lot of optimization probably. This is just my first real attempt for like a custom stock lance, if nothing else. But we'll focus on this for a couple of battles, a couple of matches, and then we'll see about removing the stock setup there and go for something really customized and unique. Although I'm still fearing that the Firestarter and the Flamers are going to be a pretty potent strategy with how effective that one Firestar was in just murdering my Blackjack, never mind the sheer amount of headshots he managed to get in that battle too. Didn't help matters either. But let's give this another try, and hopefully I do better if nothing else.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, it is showtime here. We're facing off against Romero, and hopefully, if nothing else, I do better. But this is the Rocky Crater map for all intents and purposes. We have a nice little high ground area on both halves of the map, and we're going to have ourselves a bit of a like cliff ledge to kind of contend with in the middle, and a lot of rocky terrain with that said. So I think my plan is to try and spread out the locusts and look for harassing opportunities on the side. And just to note why I'm hurrying things along on my commentary time bit is I decided to bring down the turn timer to 45 seconds as opposed to 60 to kind of help speed things along a little bit, although it is going to hurt my commentary a bit since I am going to be rushing through. So most of my strategy and thinking is going to probably be on my opponent's turn while they're thinking on their action. But otherwise, the plan I've been working on is having the dragon hang along this ledge here. It is actually a slope, so if I feel like I'm outgunned, I could just hang behind this ledge and just pepper them with LRMs until I soften them up or they get a vantage point on me. And the general, of course, like I said, is going to be kind of trying to do some ganking and rear shots. It has incredible mobility, especially with Paradise being max like piloting skill too, which actually increases the mobility of his sprint as a bonus. Never mind the fact he has like 50% hit chance reduction just with his extra evasion stack he can get. But this could be a newer opponent. This could be a skilled adversary. I don't know. They were pretty quiet when they joined in, so it remains to be seen. But it looks like multiples on the right side, and a lot of the mechanics of this map I'm going to be trying to utilize, at least for my locuses, are these radiation fields. If you're standing in the middle of them there, then you get an additional 20% accuracy buff, or like what I mean, evasion chance if you're standing in them. The downside though is you generate an additional 10 heat every 2 turns for after you walk into it the first time anyway. So it's going to be really great for my locusts to avoid getting hit, but I do not want Paradise to be stuck in there. Oh, you have, what is it, Arclight I believe for the pilot names? Because you have a mech in Initiative 5. It's going to be tricky for me to really know the strengths of my enemy there because I don't know what all the pilots are capable of, and I don't think there's an easy way to check stats, but I can at least show you the skills of all my pilots. Ozone is going to be a piloting guts character there. Witness and Showboat both have like recon abilities like sensor lock, so that's going to be useful there. And like I said, I would like to hide and sensor lock them. Although I might just reserve. Actually, let me move Witness first, since Witness is kind of not at risk. Kind of is a phrase I would use lightly there, because again, I'm not exactly sure what line of sight issues would be. Since I'm going to be relying so heavily on avoiding line of sight with these locusts, especially with multiple targets. But I am planning on sensor locking this mech, whatever it is. It looks like a trebuchet or something. Okay, it's a blackjack. And it removes a bit of, what is it, evasion on it? Okay, and wildfire, so this could possibly be a stock squad maybe. And if I'm remembering my variant there, that means it could be the same one I used for my first match. Hunchback, Blackjack, and 2 commandos. It remains to be seen, mind you, and I have to be very careful if these are commandos then. So I think Showboat is just going to back up, sensor lock one of these, and we'll see about softening up this Blackjack. Or if it's... Okay, I was just sensor locked, so... Without a doubt, I'm going to have to move Showboat next in case of some LRMs or missiles, but... It restricts what I can do? Hell, yeah, I'm just barely in vision. I could walk in this radiation field. It wouldn't be a terrible idea. I think the SRMs can hit me, because I could certainly get hit, so... I can't get a sensor lock on anything, though I would love some intel, but... I think I'm okay just backing up for now. They know it's a locust. I don't want to commit with these things just how easily they can die, and I have my target already. Sort of. It is going to jump jet, it's going to move forward though, so that's the only catch. Maybe I should have reserved a bit. Because the Blackjack's going to get to go before my dragon can. And oh, is it my turn still? Okay, I keep thinking that it's my turn still because Paradise is highlighted, and I think what I want to do with Paradise, if nothing else, is to reserve with him. Since he is kind of my ganker, he's waiting for them to make the first play ideally. Since he's not in a good opportunity, and let's see, this might be another sensor lock. Yep.
They've got a lock on me.
So both the scouts are on the right there. I do have vision to Blackjack, so it still remains to be seen what's going to happen. Hell, I can even sprint an amazing amount there and look for an opportunity, but I am hit from the Blackjack. I'm tempted just to reserve, see what happens here. Even though I do lose 2 evasion stacks, I don't think the Blackjack can actually hit me there. With that said, I just don't know what the other mech is just yet, which I'm still suspecting to be a hunchback of some kind. It remains to be seen. Oh, yeah, since I don't have contact to the 4th mech yet, I don't know what initiative phase it's on. Until I know it's my turn, then I can deduce that's easily another medium mech.
Show more bandits.
So, I could use Paradise to spot, but I think I'd rather just sprint on over and maybe try to punish this blackjack some. I don't like the idea of running into the radiation field though. But again, I don't know what blocks line of sight very well for. Or dang, I know this blocks line of sight to an extent. Sort of. It just looks like a bad position. It feels like a bad position, I'm not gonna lie. Since Paradise is not gonna do anything for the next turn. But the dragon has good mobility itself, and hell, even Ozone has like higher piloting skills and actually gut skills, so if I need to completely evade the commandos, then I can actually do that. I just know I have vision of this thing, so I can move. I just don't think this is a good spot for me with that said, because I can't move straight forward. Alright, so he's completely disengaging, that's fine. Since he's on lower ground, he shouldn't be able to shoot anything, but it did maximize his evasion quite a bit.
Ready to rock.
So, I'm going to try and soften him up, because after all, I got 2 tons of LRM ammo. So, this warrants trying to soften him up. I don't see why the hell not, because he can't see my dragon. It has good mobility, so in theory, if that other mech is a hunchback, I'm still going with the assumption it's 2 commandos, the blackjack, and that from my first match. Then I can easily keep it out of range for a while. Can I do any damage? No damage. Well, that's a shame. I would have loved some hits there to at least feel like I'm actually doing something here rather than running away all day. Because I definitely have the ammo for it to kind of soften him up as much as I can. And this dragon does have good armor still. 800 points armor. It's as durable as the Centurion would be in this circumstance with more speed. It's just missing out an autocannon 10 instead of an autocannon 5 there. So it doesn't quite have the punch, but that's easily made up for its extra melee potential, which would be great against these potential commandos.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So, Witness has a good opportunity to sensor lock, but I think what I'll do is move with Shobo first. Try and provide some protection for my dragon here is the plan. At least we're going a little bit faster, at least I feel like I have a better idea what I'm doing, which is part of the reason why it seems like I was so slow last time. Hell, never mind, we're just sizing each other up, so it's not really much different here, is there? But I want to try to engage him while he's out in the open, but these radiation fields and him with high mobility is going to be tricky. So I want to wait until he moves with something first, just because I get more value out of my second Witness's sensor lock, ideally. And I gotta keep in mind, this blackjack does have jump jets, so if I go up this ledge, he could easily jump back up. I have to remember, there's a lot of little nuances to keep in mind, like how far the blackjack can actually jump, especially when you consider height. Does affect its distance a little bit, so a lot of little uncertainties. I'm gonna probably suffer horribly just because of miscalculations, so especially with these locusts, because they rely so much on just knowing what the hell I'm doing. That's the one thing I do not know, is what the hell I'm doing. But I would love to reveal that one commando. Can I at least keep lower elevation? This is a bit ballsy, because I don't know if I'm going to get seen or not. But this will give me some intel on where it went. Okay, I don't know if that was the same one from earlier or not, because yeah, I think I could be seen. But I believe this one is the one that moved, which is why I want to sensor lock it. Yep, he braced, he lost 2 evasion, and is commando. I think my theory is justified some. And I don't want to jump with this generator, because it's going to generate so much more extra heat that I'm not comfortable with. But I like the potential positioning. It's just the jump jets on the blackjack could catch me completely flat-footed if I'm not careful. That is the one scare, so I need to keep a safe distance and be certain that thing already moved. Because, again, since my generator goes before the blackjack, yeah, there's the jump jet I was talking about earlier, which I don't think he sees me, or does he? We'll know in a moment when he tries to shoot me. But I do have 5 evasion stacks, but part of that's alleviated by the height advantage he has. The only reason I think that they jumped... Ooh, I could even be obscured, which kind of negates the height advantage some, so I could be okay. Alright, probably either deemed it wasn't necessary or didn't actually have vision. It's hard to say, because you do get a red line indicator for when you actually see the dang thing. But I know my target. We're going to focus on the commando here. And what's this one here? That's probably other commando with that said. Probably reserved with his mechs. I am probably going to take a little bit of hits with my Jenner, but again, 5 evasion stacks. If he's not going to center lock, then I'm in prime position. I'm just trying to figure out where would be best to put my dragon. Because I could stand here and brace. Ooh, and this I think puts me in optimal range for the LRMs, which, even though it's indirect fire, this will be a good chance to hit, I want to say. It's just going to, again, be braced, so it's not going to be promising. It's not going to be exciting, but 60% chance you can't scoff at, considering how bad my last salvo was. Good hits there. I'm fine with that. I wonder... Well, I'm certain Romero actually knows this is a heavy mech just because of the fact it's on initiative 2, but it wasn't sensor locked yet, so it's unknown what kind of mech it actually is. So that could make them really paranoid. But Paradise is so valuable for me, I don't want him to get pincered, but at least I'm kind of... It's making a great bait there. I'm hurting him around pretty good, but this is going to be an incredibly slow game of cat and mouse, isn't it? Because now you just gave me the means to move with Paradise. And remember, what Paradise's main trait is? Oh, I can't actually shoot him. So that explains why the brace happened as it did. So, we're going to try... Can I actually brace? Get far enough and brace? I would like to actually do that in case. That's probably a little bit safer, and that blackjack will run a little bit hotter if Romero decides to do the bold play of jumping up here and alpha striking. And the reason I want to turn my side like this is because it also protects my center torso. That is an important factor for as this fight drags out. I don't want to get random luck and suddenly lose a mech because he got the center torso, especially if that is a hunchback, keep in mind. Well, if one of these mechs is a hunchback. AC-20 alone could kill any of these light mechs. Now,
Good to go.
I think it's warranted to move Showboat, but can I sensor lock anything? I like how this is going faster, at least if nothing else, but again, I told you why. It's because I'm already familiar with this squad. I played a handful of custom bot games, and I'm also familiar with the map to an extent, just not to the point where I know where all the elevation is, and it's actually really damn tricky to tell, isn't it? Like in front of my dragon, where the line of sight blockers are. So it's not perfect, and it is gonna screw me over so much if these light mechs get caught off guard. And I think I'm gonna reserve with Witness to see what he does, to see what Romero does. Because I would like the blackjack to move first and then put a sensor lock on it to kind of minimize its evasion stacks. And I think that's a commando over there. It probably will be able to shoot me. But I am again braced, and that would be my front. So if anything's protected, certainly the Jenner from the commando. Okay, took the bait. I hope this does not be the death of me. Because I am not scared. Already did jump jets, so generate a bunch of heat. So if you fire an alpha strike of lasers... Good God. Hit with all the lasers too, damn it.
Armor breach.
That is a pain in the ass. Because that was supposed to be a minus 50% chance to hit.
What can I do for you?
For crying out loud. So, sensor lock or SRM fire. I think my dragon's going to shoot as well, so... It did take the bait. Was that a big mistake though with that said, because even more so, it hit my damn leg. So you know this could backfire immensely if I'm not careful. And only 35% chance to hit, which is why I'm tempted with the sensor lock. I think my dragon could get a good shot off on it, so... And I don't think I'm actually in the radiation field, so... Witness could be vulnerable to an attack. Could be. Ooh, I think my dragon actually gets a decent rear shot too. It will leave me exposed. I'm not going to have a lot of evasion stacks, but it might also be tempting for that reason. So that's the hunchback there, I'm assuming. I'm making a lot of assumptions, mind you, but that looks like it might be the hunchback, which I'll be safe from. Taking the bait fully, but let's not get too excited with that said. Ooh, this is a rear shot 2 with 3 evasion stacks and almost optimum range, or I think that's optimum range, I'm just not sure for which weapon. Probably the lasers if I had to guess. I'm hoping the lasers can contribute because you know this is going to hurt. Surprise! You're facing a dragon, and sadly, no medium laser hits, but 1 evasion stack, 70% chance to hit. There, solid hit on the rear. I love it. Sadly, Paradise may not get the convenience of shooting at the rear. I could potentially do it, but how confident am I can survive against 2 commandos with that said? Even with me braced, mind you. Thank God for the brace. That would have immediately killed my legs, keep in mind, if it wasn't for that damn brace, because it really wasn't a flank shot, that I can guarantee. Or a rear shot, rather. So I think, as silly as it may sound, I might move with Paradise after Showboat. Let the second commando go, because again, I got good rear shots here. Oh, just barely out of range, so never mind that. So Witness might go with that said. And this will be a point-blank rear shot. I could massacre this thing quickly. It's a big risk, but I already know one of the commandos went. So, this is gonna hurt, especially with 85s all around. Just keep shooting the rear for me. Critical hit on one of the lasers, that's always a plus. But that basically just means it's harder to hit with, that's all. Now, what does the other commando do? What does the other commando do? Because again, we're relying a little bit on RNG, random chance that this doesn't backfire, but it looks so promising with all the rear shots I can get on that blackjack. Because it's more than likely going to do a DFA maybe, or just evade out completely out of the way. And thankfully, the commando does not see me, so I'm free to move with Paradise last. I would have loved... Ooh, I do get a rear shot, holy crap.
Don't need to tell me twice.
I got a little bit lucky there. I get max evasion as a result, and I'm also in range, but I think it's safe to say that was a little bit of luck.
This should be good.
But can we at least set this up so well for Paradise? This is a gamble, a big gamble, but we are talking about a blackjack versus a light mech that I technically rely heavily on. But 50 evasion, this is going to run hot, but I haven't even shot a weapon yet, so I can manage the heat. Ooh, I'm excited that this could pay off. This could pay off. At least destroy, cripple its weaponry, that's all I want. If kill it would be the ultimate dream, though. Okay, torso gone, another critical hit on a laser. So I don't know if that's half its weapon. Well, at least I know one laser. I'm trying to remember. Are the lasers in the center torso? Okay, so over half its weaponry is either gone or crippled. Oh my god, 15 health on the center torso. But that was an effective turn. I don't think I can deny that. But I don't have a sensor lock anymore to follow up with missiles. It's the only sucky thing with my dragon, so Ozone is probably going to be sitting tight there. And here comes... Well, the Hunchback is going to make its play up there. And thankfully I have light mechs, but again, Ozone, not much you could do, buddy. And I think I want you to stay where you're at in all seriousness. If you can get evasion stacks, that'd be useful. Because I think they're going to be coming up to you. Now, the big trick, obviously, is being able to do that again. Because we were slightly robbed to kill. Because 2 SRM missiles, or 2 extra SRM missiles, or a medium laser on that blackjack would have just straight up killed it, but easily neutering it, cutting its firepower over in half, is definitely a victory. And all it cost me was it nearly being lagged, which is still a serious scare, mind you. So,
I hear ya.
who do I move with first? probably a showboat with that said. Because you're hanging back, you can sensor lock this commando for me, which may be the commando I shot at first. And I gotta keep in mind that Hunchback's gonna get to shoot next turn, so I gotta get my position ready. Hopefully, showboat's far enough away, almost to the point I'd rather brace. Because that 100 points of damage, even if it hits arm, is gonna gonna be tricky to explain it when I can't even see my locus. Let's see. Even if it hits arm, there goes the arm, and that was what? That's 30 damage and could still kill my side torso with that said. So, I didn't have enough time to really do the math to know how much it would actually destroy even on the worst type of shot. Let's see, 30, and then another 55 there. So yeah, it would still get to the center torso a little bit. Not breached armor, mind you, but still gets to the center torso some. Now I want to hug the ledge here as much as I can. Actually, can I just do a regular move? At least that way it allows me to brace.
Got it.
Although, maybe I should have a locust going the other way some to see about shooting that commando in the rear some more. Or, not commando, but blackjack. But I think that might be what showboat does. It might be. Because I have vision of the one commando and I think I'm going to make that a priority.
Yes, Commander.
And Paradise, you can sprint like hell. I don't think I want you in the water or the ice, because that actually will increase your cooling, but I don't know if I like the idea of you being vulnerable to our Hunchback, so can I put you somewhere where you're not seen? I'm taking a bit of a gamble here, expecting not to get hit by the dang Hunchback,
Yes, Commander.
but if he gets some time to cool off, he can do that again on the Blackjack. Oh, radiation, that's going to suck a bit, because that's going to generate heat. Not a huge concern if I'm not firing, but it is going to slow down my cooling. But that's the role I have in mind for Paradise. Just play slow, cautious, and do a massive burst of damage when the situation warrants it. Which ultimately relies on me having them with no evasion stacks. Because it's way too risky when I'm dealing with 50% chances to hit, mind you, even at point blank range. So I need to make sure they have no evasion or I get good sensor locks on before I commit with Paradise's dive bomb. Because Paradise should be able to deal with the commando salvos really well, and I just gotta make sure they don't hit that left leg. Oh, Hunchback sees me. Oh god. This is what I was talking about earlier. I could be obscured. He does have height advantage, and thankfully it missed. No hits at all. Thank god. That was terrifying. I'm sure you cannot blame me on that when we're talking about a goddamn autocannon 20. 100 damage, which, again, doing the same kind of math as before. Even if it were to shoot the arm, that's half the damage there. And really damn close to destroy my side torso, even if it were to hit the worst component, which would technically be the arm. And let's not talk about the center torso. Oh my god, you might actually survive if you take a hit on the center torso. Barely. So maybe there's hope for you yet. Just gotta be very careful. It is nice to see a very stock variant lance, mind you. Okay, Blackjack jumped. I still got good evasion stacks, but I'm not in a position to kill this thing in the front. God damn it.
I can't.
How the hell is this thing hitting me so much?
Damn it.
With the lasers, no less. So there goes that strategy, overheating quite a bit, which puts him down at like 10 health, so that really sucks there. I do have jump jets still, because my jump jets I don't think were even on the legs, mind you, but that really blows. Because again, I have no way to follow up with that said. And the height advantage, at least for the Hunchback's only supposed to be like a 5% increase. And I think I was even obscured, which easily negates that. Really hard to say, again, what the hit chance was even like, but he's hitting with those damn lasers, and that wasn't even in optimum range, I'm pretty certain. The Blackjack just barely got me in range there. But at least Paradise is going to still get to go, but how the hell are you getting these leg hits, damn it? Because nothing else was even touched. So, Paradise is a little bit screwed, but what? Did we lose an actual jump jet? No. So I'm going to be relying on jump jets heavily for Paradise's mobility, with that said. Which is still not terrible. This rock here should completely hide me until the Blackjack decides to jump up. I'm going to be in the radiation again, but again, if I use Paradise as bait, Well, that's a bit of a letdown.
Waiting on you,
The fact
Commander.
that this is over
What can I
already.
do for you?
Well, that was a shame. It was looking, well, I take that back. It wasn't looking promising, but we'll see.
Waiting for orders.
I want to go after that damn thing. Oh, well. I apologize for that letdown, but hey. It just means we can try for another match, here's hoping, huh? Maybe? It had real promise though, but we'll try it again.